Alright, so today we're going to be talking about predicate nominatives. So a predicate nominative is very similar to a direct object, except for the fact that it has to be used when there's the linking verb be. So whenever you have a form of the linking verb be, you're going to have a predicate nominative instead of a direct object and an indirect object. So again, like I said, it's functioning similar to a direct object. But let's go through and actually look at the verb be, because if you can't identify the verb be, how are you going to be able to decide if it's a predicate nominative or a direct object? So if we look at the different forms of the verb be, first we'll start with the past tense here, and we're looking at when you conjugate for I, for you, and for he or she. So in the past tense of be, you would say I was. In the past tense of you would say you were. And then for he or she, it's going to be he was. Okay, if we go to the present tense then, so yesterday I was, today I am. For you, it's you are. And for he or she is. And so then the future tense, you always have to add will. So in this case, I will be, you will be, and he or she will be. So any time that the verb be is functioning as the main verb, being the only verb in the sentence, then you're going to have a predicate nominative or predicate adjective. Predicate nominative, just think of the word nominative as a noun. So let's look at two examples to kind of explain what I'm actually talking about here. So I've got two sentences up on the board. The first sentence, Mr. Ball loves volleyball. So start by looking at the verb of the sentence. So our subject is Mr. Ball. What does Mr. Ball, what's he doing in this sentence? In this case, the verb is loves. Well, is loves a form of the verb be? I don't think so. So in this case, it's going to be a direct object. So what is it that Mr. Ball loves? He loves volleyball. Direct object, not a predicate nominative there. But what about in sentence number 2? Mr. Ball is the man. Well, duh, you should know that by now. But looking at the verb, what's the verb? Mr. Ball what? Is. It's functioning as a main verb. It's part of the verb to be. So then whatever Mr. Ball is going to be your predicate nominative. So Mr. Ball is, what am I? It's the man. So this is your predicate nominative. Now, don't get tricked up, because it might say Mr. Ball is awesome. Also a true statement. But in this case, it's not a predicate nominative because awesome isn't a noun. Awesome is an adjective. So this is actually called a predicate adjective, which we'll talk a little bit more about later. So again, the biggest thing about a predicate nominative is it's similar to a direct object, but you have to have a form of the verb be in order to have the linking verb. Okay.